All right, let's dive right in. Over the next few minutes, we're going to unpack one of the most disruptive technologies of our time, generative AI. We'll take a quick trip from its kind of surprising origins to the high-stakes game it's become for everyone. So, what's all the buzz about? Let's start with a basic question. You're probably used to AI that analyzes stuff, right? But what about an AI that's a creator? I mean, one that can actually write that email for you, compose a piece of music, or dream up an image from scratch. That creative spark is exactly what we're talking about today. So, what is it really? Well, think of it this way. Generative AI doesn't just copy and paste. It's more like a musician who's listened to thousands of hours of jazz. It learns the patterns, the rhythm, the harmony, and then it uses all that knowledge to improvise a brand new solo. It's creating something new, not just repeating what it's heard.
And this is a really important difference to get. Your traditional AI is a brilliant analyst. It's great at sorting data or predicting what's going to happen next. But generative AI, its whole job is to create something that didn't exist before. It's the leap from being an analyst to becoming an artist.
So, how do we get here? Well, this technology didn't just pop up out of nowhere. It's actually a story that's been unfolding for over 60 years, packed with some incredible breakthroughs. Let's take a quick look at that journey. You can just see the pace picking up, right? We started way back in the 50s with these simple rule-based systems. Then machine learning came along in the 80s. By the 2000s, deep learning was already powering assistants like Siri and Alexa. But 2017, man, that's when things just went into overdrive.
The absolute game changer was a model called the Transformer, which came from a team at Google. It was a massive breakthrough in how machines could understand context and the relationship between words in a sentence. This is the engine that's under the hood of pretty much every powerful AI you hear about today, from ChatGPT to Bard.
But, brilliant software needs some seriously powerful hardware. Training these models is like trying to solve a billion math problems all at once. That's where GPUs come in. They were originally built for video games, but it turns out their ability to do tons of calculations at the same time, that's called parallel processing, was the perfect match for this AI explosion.
Okay, so we've got the models and we've got the hardware. But what's the fuel for this engine? It's data. And listen, we're not just talking about any data. The unique information a company already has is quickly becoming its most valuable asset in this new world.
And just look at the scale of this opportunity. A staggering 80 to 90% of a company's data isn't sitting in neat little spreadsheets. It's unstructured. It's locked away in documents, emails, call transcripts, you name it. For most businesses, it's a treasure chest they haven't even opened yet.
And this is exactly where Gen AI shines. It's built to make sense of all that messy human data. The companies that can figure out how to feed their own unique information into these models, well, they're not just getting smarter. They're building a competitive moat that's going to be almost impossible for anyone else to cross.
So, where's all this data coming from? It pretty much falls into three buckets. First-party data is your gold mine. That's the stuff you learn directly from your own customers. Then there's second-party, which is data from trusted partners. And third-party is data you might buy to get a bigger picture. The winning strategy usually involves a smart mix of all three. Okay, enough with the theory. Let's get down to brass tacks. How are businesses actually using this technology right now to change the way they work?
The applications are just exploding everywhere. It's doing things like drafting blog posts and marketing copy. It's analyzing customer reviews to instantly figure out the sentiment. It's translating languages in real time, summarizing crazy long reports, and even helping developers write and squash bugs in their code at, lightning speed.
But it all comes down to this one simple truth. Gen AI models are only as good as the data that supports them. You can have the most powerful engine in the world, but if you put bad fuel in it, you're not going anywhere. Garbage in, garbage out. The AI is just a mirror of the data you train it on.
And this leads us to the million-dollar question for every business leader right now. How do you tap into your own private data to make these models smarter, while also keeping that data completely secure and under your control? It's a high-wire act for sure, but nailing it, that's everything.
Okay, let's pull back for a second and look at the big picture, because the economic shift we're talking about here is, it's massive, and the race to define the future of this market is already on.
Just try to wrap your head around this number, $1.3 trillion. That's the projected size of the Gen AI market within a decade. To put that in perspective, it was just $40 billion back in 2022. That's not just growth, that's a tidal wave.
And you can bet the biggest names in tech are in a flat-out race to the top. You've got the pioneers like OpenAI with their GPT series, heavyweights like Google and Meta, and even data-focused powerhouses like Snowflake. This fierce competition is just fueling an absolutely breathtaking pace of innovation.
And that brings us right back to where we started. We've talked about the history, the tech, the money, but at the end of the day, it all boils down to one fundamental truth. Data is the real differentiator. So the most important question now isn't just what can AI do, but how will you fuel your AI?